Welcome to day 12, everyone. One of my favorite teachings. And a phrase I like to remind myself regularly. It's important to. Your past does not define you. It just adds to your story. What a story. Say it back to yourself. My past does not define me. It just adds to my story. Believe it, know it. What a story. And I'm still here. All you ever have in this life, full control of, always, is now. And now. And now. Your present moment, now, you have a choice. We've already simplified that down to a choice. Soul or ego. You know, what happens if you're in a situation you didn't want to be in and you was just put there? Okay, in that moment, you still have a choice. What is my truth at this moment? If it's not a nice place and I shouldn't be here, that's all the mind. You're here because you're here. Everything happens for a reason. You've heard people say that. But this is a spiritual journey that we're on. And looking back at your life, and you're here at this moment. And on this journey, there's many times where you're like, okay, that didn't make sense back then. It now makes complete sense. And I'm here again now, this moment. On one of the ego sessions, the word time. Time is ego, and time is a concept that we get often caught up in. So if all you have is this moment now, in your past, it's not now, is it? It's gone. So what is your past? It's a thought. We think about a moment, we remember, we remind. The mind creates the past with a thought. It takes us back to that moment. Every moment, the now is a feeling. So if we use that concept, past, present, now, and future, your feelings are the truth. So your now always is your feelings. I think about that moment, that past. I remember it. I can now feel it. The feeling's now. My mind has gone out there. My feelings are always now. Wherever I go on that spectrum, it's always my truth. So use the number 8 on its side. The middle 8's the heart. My thoughts now can go in the past, back to this moment, and then the future. We worry. We stress. We get confused. We're unsure about what next. It hasn't happened yet. All we have is now. So if you're worrying now, that feeling of worry is now. If you're thinking of bad, that feeling is bad inside your body. We're in control of our thoughts. We know that now. Which means we're in control of our feelings. We choose how we want to feel. And that time as a concept, we judge a lot of our life based on our past, what we don't want anymore, what we shouldn't be doing. But again, that's gone. It's all gone. And if your past doesn't define you, even more powerful teaching, that means, and sometimes it's very hard, this one, everyone else we speak to, their past doesn't define them either. And I've been soul slapped with this one so many times. I always think I'm in my truth because I'm doing all the work and they're just angry. I'm still treating them as angry. In the space of 12 days on this, how much growth is there? How much growth and awareness can come from just taking the time to pay attention? That goes the same for other people too. And this was really beneficial for me. Because regardless of what has ever happened, it's now gone. All you have is this moment. And if we hold on to things from the past, arguments from the past, decisions made from the past, our story from the past, if we hold on to that, all we have is more of that now. So if we break it down into thoughts and feelings, the thoughts always come first and the feeling comes as a truth as soon as you're aware of it. The moment you become aware of it, you've already experienced it. And that way it allows you to detach and go back to those moments that have been defining us. They don't anymore. I can go back to that with a new awareness, a new intention on my energy. I'm going back for a teaching. What can I learn from that moment? Why is it still weighing me down? There's always an answer there. And that becoming the observer is just being. And one truth will lead to another truth. So maybe you don't have the answers right now, but your now is now. So if you go from the heart and revisit that moment, become the observer. And in that moment you now have a choice. Let go. Let go of that feeling. Let go of that energy. Let it go. Simplify life down to a choice, soul or ego. Anything that is not your truth is the ego. Let it go. So my past doesn't define me, then that means all the labels that I give myself, all the nicknames that others give me, they're so lazy. They're always busy. They're unreliable. All these labels. We give it to others, they give it to us. We get upset when we hear what people say about us, but they still gave it to us. If we always stand in our truth, it's irrelevant what labels people give us. It's irrelevant because you're showing up now. And people are entitled to their opinions, but your truth is a feeling. No one can take your feelings away from you. My past does not define me. It just adds to my story. What a story. And remember, we hold on to so many things. We're unaware of it. And we'll say things, that's not who I am. I don't normally do that. I'm not that sort of person. Who are you then? And it's okay to let go of all the labels. You're in this moment. It's harder with people that you've had in your life for longer. Because when you share a truth, not everyone's going to agree with that truth, and their ego will kick off to defend it, to keep you away from it. The moment you come out of truth, that means they can still be their same ego. As you keep going on this journey, they will keep pushing your buttons until you let it go. So if you know your past doesn't define you, then all their opinions is their opinions. So, going to spend some time on your own with this one, you and your soul. And without overthinking, remember the soul's a feeling. If people were asking you now, please explain yourself. Who are you? What have you done? What's your story? And if you was to tell that story and share that story, your full truth, your honest truth, what things would come up in that story that still challenge you today? That still brings out pain, blame, stress, anger. So your past is your story. It's the part of your story. So anything that's happened in your past, it's happened for a reason. It's gone now though, so we can let go of that. But we can revisit it without that feeling, yes, I was angry. Yes, I was down, I was hurting. But not now. In fact, when I write my story, and we've all got one inside us, all of these tough, challenging times become the best parts of my story. That's where all my growth took place. Can you imagine if you had a story where it was just plain sailing all the way through? It would be a boring book. No one would read that. So all these challenges in your life make you you. And beyond that, you now have teachings for others. You can add meaning. Sharing your truth could change lives. It will. A ripple effect. Changing lives. And when you realise this, your life changes. So you're going to list out all the things, all those moments that first of all you know those feelings still come up to this day. There's some I haven't been able to visit. I was too sore, I was hurting too much. Write them down. No attachment. Don't even need to go there to start with. Write them down. Bring awareness to it. Let's write down all the labels. How would you define yourself? How would you describe yourself? How would others describe yourself? The person that gives you the most bother, the ones said mean things, the ones you've had the most arguments with, what would they say about yourself, your old self? Remember, their voice is their voice, it's not your truth. But let's look through their eyes. What do they say? What were those labels? Let it go. So whenever you are in this moment, you're present, you are the gift, a choice, ego or self. And as soon as your mind goes off and the worry and the blame comes back, bring it back to your heart center. Just one breath. Ego or self. If I stay in my truth, I can go back and you learn so much more about yourself. Forgiveness, acceptance, enjoyment, all these things come up. And life is every day. Every day is a new day. Every day I can now go back with my mind and experience all over again. And I go back again if I'm still unsure, still got questions, something else popped up for me. I go back. I'm the creator of it all. I'm the experiencer. That's my soul having this human experience, knowing its true self. Most importantly, I remember that now. I remember that was my story. My past does not define me. It just adds to my story. We're still continuing that story. So spend some time now, any label, any comment, any description, any thought you're still holding on to now about yourself. Write them all down. And then as you're writing them down, observe your feeling and try to put those feelings into energy. How much energy are they still consuming? What one's consuming the most for me? And then go spend time on that. What's my teaching? What am I holding on to? What can I let go? And just close your eyes now and just stay with this feeling and say, my past does not define me. It just adds to my story. What a story.